Welcome back, friend. Kris Krohn here. And today I'm doing something real special. I'm actually going to show you how I do no money down real estate deals. So check it. Is no money down real estate even real? Like, are these real things that happen? Do these things actually go down? Dude, I was a total skeptic and still I started making tons of money actually doing this. So today I'm gonna break it down. Now watch this. I wanna give you some basics that you're gonna need, and then I'm actually gonna bring a friend in. I'm gonna do a role play because I actually wanna show you how real this is. Here's the strategy that we're gonna be doing today. We're going to be dealing with trying to buy a single family home, entry level, under the median, and instead of me buying it with money and with credit, I'm gonna approach the person that already owns the home, and I want you to hear the dialogue I have with them on how I'm basically going to invite them to stay on the mortgage as the bank, but let me solve the rest of their crisis or the rest of their problem or whatnot. But I need you to understand a couple of basic principles first. Check it out. The first one is I'm trying to create spreads. I'm trying to create what? I'm trying to create spreads. Here's what I mean by that. On the value of the home, let's just say for a moment that we're talking about a home that has a value of $199,000. And we have the ability to purchase this home for $150,000. What is the spread between what it's worth and what's owed? This is a difference of $49,000. If I could get this home at that price, I would be locking in $49,000 of money. Does that make sense? Here's the next spread. Let's say on this exact same home that there's a mortgage payment that's due, and let's just say that that mortgage payment on this particular house that's owed $150 is $900 a month. But I have a special technique that I do with my compassionate financing, better than rent, and so when I lease this home out, I could actually lease this home for $1,400 a month. Again, what's the spread? This had a $49,000 spread. Every month there's a spread here of $500. These are two of the most important spreads that you need to know about. Here's the last one. If I get into this house, and let's just say that I get in by putting $1,000 down to get into it, but I put another family in that pays $5,000 down, then what's the spread on this? The spread is $4,000. So here's what I want you to understand. There's a house right now in my market. There are several of them where a house is worth $199,000 around there. I can get it for $150,000 and there's a spread. Then on top of that, I might be able to assume this person's mortgage of $900 but charge $1,400, and guess who's going to make $500 every month in the meantime? Me. And let's say that I had to bring $1,000 in to make the deal happen, but a different family came in and gave me $5,000. What's the spread? It's $4,000. Now, before I do this role play, I want you to add up with me. I know we're talking some math here, but I want to make sure you understand something. Let's say that I held this home for 48 months, okay? That's 4 years. If I hold it for 48 months and I sell it, let's just assume, let's say the value's gone up to 210, 220. Let's just say I sell it at 199 in 4 years. Who's going to make that $49,000? Me, plus I've got one or two of these I brought in. Let's assume one. 49,000 plus 4,000 brings me up to 53,000. And then I've been making $500 a month for the last 4 years. So 500 a month is $6,000 per year. There's 4 years. So that is 6, 12, 18, 24. So 53,000 plus 24,000 is $77,000. Now this is just a mock scenario, but can you see that if I could get a home for less than it's worth, if I can find a home where I can rent it for more than my mortgage, and if I can collect a bigger down payment than I had to pay to get into it, can you see how I arrived at that $77,000 number? It was a function of my $49,000, my $4,000, and 4 years of $500 a month. Add all that up, $77,000. Okay, you guys are ready now to actually see how these seller finance deals actually go down. In a moment, I'm gonna be bringing in my buddy Joe. And I just want to tell you a little bit about his scenario because he's off camera right now actually listening like, what's the scenario? Joe's a guy who he's got a house and he actually is in the process of relocation. And so he's had to move across the country, and he's back in town because he's dealing with tenants that he just had to throw out again. His house has a value of $200,000. And right now he owes $150,000 on it. His pain comes from the fact that he never wanted to be an investor. He sure as heck doesn't want to be a landlord. He's having a hard time selling this home. He's mistrusting of realtors. He doesn't want to pay all those fees. So we thought, you know what? I'll just put someone in the home and try to rent it for sale by owner, for rent by owner. And in the process of renting it, he's just trying to cover his mortgage, which just happens to be $900 a month. Now, the problem in Joe's life is that he's moved and he's back in town and he doesn't want to have to solve this problem. He would like to sell the house, but the market is not the most ideal time for it. And there's also a few $1,000s of repairs. The home is dated. So the realtors are expensive. He's discouraged because he'll have to put money in. He does not have money to put in. He tried putting renters in there. They're making everything worse. He just had to kick out his second set of renters. Every time it goes vacant, it's costing him $900. And he's just in a really horrible place. Hey, Joe, thanks for taking some time to meet with me. How are you doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good. Awesome. Hey, thank you for giving me some information about your house here. My intention is to see if I can help create some solutions, because from what I understand, you got some stress going on. You're out here cleaning up tenant duty again. Do you actually like being a landlord?
Not when I have to, not when they're not being rented.
Not when they're not being rented, right? Yeah, I mean, so is this a stressful situation for you? Are you doing okay with it?
No, I get it. I'm laying out $900 a month plus, maintenance, plus taxes, plus insurance, plus all these other things.
And why aren't you just selling the home?
Because the market's just a little weird right now.
Okay. And it has.
I don't think it's the right time to sell. I got to do some maintenance on the house. Don't feel like laying out any more money.
Awesome. How many people like Joe are in your backyard right now? The answer is many. 10% of all real estate that's held is in some kind of drama or trauma, which means that if you make 10 phone calls, or if you go out to the for sale by owners, for example, which is how I found Joe in our fictitious example, how I've done deals over and over again, you're gonna find scenarios like this. Well, Joe, let me tell you a little bit about me, and then let me see if I can help create a solution, okay?
Got it.
First of all, I wanna make sure I understand some things. You were kind of telling me that your house, what do you think you owe on it roughly? I just wanna verify.
Somewhere around $150,000.
So you owe $150,000 and your mortgage is about $900 a month, and you're basically looking for a solution. I've been able to help a lot of people. This is actually one of my core business strengths. You can use the same language. And my business, what I do is I help people that get stuck with real estate problems, and I come in almost like a business partner, and I alleviate the burden and I find solutions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with you what that solution looks like. I don't know if you'll like it or not, because it might not be what you're looking for, but I just wanna share with you my expertise in what I do. Ready?
Yeah, fair enough. Open to hearing about it.
Okay, so what I do is when someone has a home that they wanna sell and the market's a little weird and they don't know how, they're struggling with renters, I specialize in putting a very kind of different person in the home. What I do is I'm actually looking for a tenant who in time will actually become a buyer. So right now the market is screwy. I'm not in a position to buy this right now, but I'm in a position to do something different. What I'd like to do is I would actually like to take this home off your hands. I'd like to get it professionally taken care of, which means that the moment we do this arrangement, I'm gonna cover all maintenance. I'm gonna cover all payments. I'll make them directly to the bank and it'll no longer be your concern. You can move to Long Island and I'm gonna take care of it.
Got it.
Okay, now how that's gonna work is there's a couple things I need for this to be a win-win. First of all, what I would like to do is I'd like to be able to get this house at a price that will also work for me, because I'm gonna this is gonna be at least a 5-year contract and I'm gonna be responsible for the next 5 years for your house. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Okay.
So what I would like to do is when this house eventually sells, I'd like to be able to buy it from you for $160,000. You'll probably clear about $10,000, but because it's a 5-year contract, I'm also gonna be paying down the principal. Any principal that gets paid down over the next 5, or even if you want to do 10 years, it all is going to come back to you. But the responsibility is on my shoulders. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So I just want to ask, first of all, does that $160,000 price point work?
Sure.
Okay, let's say it didn't for a moment. Let's just say that he wanted something higher. Let's play that out.
How, would you do 175?
Joe, again, I know my numbers, and for this to work and with the responsibility and the risk I'm going to be taking on, honestly, I feel like the max I could probably do is 170. Is that within the realm of possibility here?
Okay, we're meeting kind of in the middle now. I'm cool with that.
Let's just assume for a moment that 170 works. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's assume that let's say that I'm going to be buying this house for 170. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be making payments directly to the mortgage, to the bank for $900. And what I'm going to do is I want to take the next 4 weeks to really help see if I can do anything else to get your house ready. And so we're going to sign the contract as soon as we have it done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my first payment in 30 days, direct to the bank, $900. You'll be copied on it, receipted on it. So you'll know, hey, maintenance, repairs, mortgage, everything's getting covered. The contract I give you will also show you that I'll be buying the house for $170,000 down the road. And what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to find someone to be in this house that is a much better renter than what you've been finding. This is my space. This isn't your space. You're struggling with that because you're not trained to be, you're not a professional landlord, are you?
Obviously not.
No, and that's okay. And that's okay. But I am. And so I'm not only going to find a great tenant, but I'm actually going to find someone down the road that wants to buy this house. It's a different kind of tenant. They're going to take care of the house. They're going to improve the house. And I'm there to oversee it to make sure that those things actually happen. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
But if there are repairs or problems, that's on my shoulders, not yours.
Yeah, so you're paying them.
So basically what it means is starting in 30 days, I'm going to make that $900 payment. Down the road, let's just call it 5 or 7 years here when we put the paperwork together, I'm going to be buying it for $170.
Okay.
The longer this goes, the better benefit you get because the mortgage is going to get paid down.
Yep.
And basically, I'm going to come to you with a contract, and I'll go through it all with you, but it's going to say this, and it's all going to say, also going to say that maintenance, it's on me. So literally, I want you to go back to your world, your life. I'll give you verification of everything. Things are going to be taken care of. And that's how I'm going to come in as a partner to basically help you have this properly taken. Then when the market turns around and things come back, you still get some of the upside and some of those benefits. You know, if I do a good job on my side, there's going to be some upside and benefits for me, but I'm carrying that responsibility. Does that make sense? Awesome. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Okay, here's what I want you guys to understand right now. If we were to break down what's going down, I want to ask you if you would do this deal. If we had a comparable market analysis verifying that this was a $200,000 home and that I was getting it for $170, when I actually put a family with my lease option system in this home, I'm going to have a minimum purchase price at like $195, for example. I'm locking in $25,000, which is my minimum worst case scenario. But if in 5 years it goes up to $230 and we let an appraisal determine it, I'm also going to capture all that upside. So here's my worst case scenario. Then a family's going to come in and they're going to give me $5,000 down. If that family doesn't buy it, there's room for one more family to come in and do the same because usually 1 or 2 families will buy. And then on a lease option, I'm picking up that superior rent of $500 a month. So over 5 years, let's just say, 5 years of making an extra $6,000 a month is roughly $6,000 a year, thank you, is $30,000. 25,000 plus 30,000 is 55, 60, 65. I'm showing $65,000 of possible gain plus the upside. If this home sells for $20,000 more and I share some back with them, and let's say I make another 15 grand, I've now made $80,000. And here's the kicker that you need to know. How much money am I out of pocket with the way that I negotiated this? For this negotiation, I'm out zero, but in 30 days, I'm responsible for what? Now, why did I give myself 30 days? Because I'm going to use my special marketing system and I'm going to see if I can get a family in there. There's a 50% chance I'm already going to get someone in there, so I might not even come out of pocket.
Got it. So you're trying to get someone in there. So by the time you're responsible to start paying that mortgage, you got a renter in, you're all good. You literally didn't have to worry about even making.
But let's say I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm wrong, Joe, and let's just say that it takes me 3 months to put someone in, and I've had to make 2 of these $900 payments. I'm still $1,800 in on a potential $80,000 or $65,000 return. And then when these people have maintenance issues, guess who I pass it on to? The family that's going to be buying it. They're also the people that are going to maintain and upkeep the house. I've been working the system for the last 15 years. A family will come in, they will buy it. They're going to say, I'm sick of renting. Thank you for working with me. Thank you for buying me time. And when you calculate your ROI, even if you were 5 grand in or even 10 grand in to make that return, by the time you calculate your ROI on these deals, you're generally well over 100% a year on your money. Friends, this is standard. This is a standard code of business in the way that I do it. And some of you are like, okay, Kris, that was fast. It kind of went over my head. But here's what I want you to understand right now. If you click the link in the description below, I'm actually going to let you read about full access of how I do this compassionate financing lease option system. It's what I've used to get people in real estate that hardly have any money at all, don't have money, don't have credit, and they need a way to get into the game without having a lot of assets. And if that's you, I really want to invite you right now to click that link, get with me and my team and just say, hey, I watched the video, dude. How do I do that? Because it looks like controlling assets with value, making all this money. Because what happens if you do 5 deals like this year? You do 5 deals like this year and your net worth, your future profits, you got over $250,000 of profits coming your way. Guess how I retired in 4.5 years? I learned the system and I learned the game, and I'm here to be your mentor. I'm here to teach you too, if you got what it takes, which just basically means, are you gonna get off of your butt, make some phone calls and do the little bit of work to make some pretty serious cash? If it's a yes, my team will determine that. I don't let anyone on my team vets and make sure I've got the right people. Joe, dude, I want to thank you today for being our amazing role play dude.
Thank you. Where do I sign up? I want to get one.
You ready to get, yeah, right? I mean, ready to go. Let's do 10 of them, right?
Yeah,
and
awesome.
And guys, if you're not subscribed, every day you're getting videos dropped like this designed to help you take back financial control of your life, live life on your terms, live life to the fullest. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.